Media, ìkànnì tó kún fọ́pọ́ pẹ̀lú òye. Omoboriowo Media, àròjinlẹ̀ ìkànnì. Omoboriowo Media, tó ń ti gbáǹkọ́gbì ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń ta ní jí. Omoboriowo Media, fáwọn ètò àgbọ́fikọ́gbọ́n. Omoboriowo Media, ètò ọrọ̀ ajé. Omoboriowo Media, àṣà àti ìṣe Yorùbá pọ́npẹ́lẹ́. Omoboriowo Media, orin ilẹ̀ wa. Omoboriowo Media, eré ìgbàlódé. Omoboriowo Media, iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀. Omoboriowo Media, ètò ọ̀gbìn. Omoboriowo Media, àti eré ayò. Omoboriowo Media, bó ṣe lálẹ́. Omoboriowo Media, bó jẹ́ lọ́sàn-án. Omoboriowo Media, ìyálẹ̀ta tàbí nídàájí. Omoboriowo Media, àti ọmọdé àti àgbà tó bá ti jòyè. Gbogbo oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti akọ̀wé, ọmọ ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ àti ọmọ ilé ìwé tó fẹ́ mọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ káàkiri àgbáńlá ayé. Ẹ máa wo Omoboriowo Media. Omoboriowo Media, Omoboriowo Media. Ẹ máa wò ó, 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 ẹ máa wo Omoboriowo Media. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí i tàbí tá ẹ bá ní nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ ká bá yín polówó, ẹ lè kàn sí wa látòrí +971 503 430 843 tàbí +234 803 438 5089. Omoboriowo Media, ìkànnì tó dúró tán.
Olúwa Olódùmarè ọba tí èmi àti yín tajọ fi ọpẹ́ fún lónìí. I greet every one of us back to our program for today. Tí a mọ̀ sí the good news, the prosperities of Orile-Ede Yoruba, written by Professor Banji Akintoye. Ìwé yìí kí ni tó ń sọ fún wa? Ó ń sọ àwọn nǹkan pàtàkì tí bàbá wa Professor Banji Akintoye èyí tí wọ́n ti prepare kalẹ̀ fún wa fún ìran Yorùbá lélẹ̀ tí èmi àti yín lè jẹ àǹfààní ẹ̀. Èyí tí yóò ṣe yín láǹfààní láti wí pé ìran Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ dá dúró. Àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ló yẹ kí èmi àti ẹ ó máa gbé yẹ̀wò láti wo ọ̀nà tí ìran Yorùbá yóò gbà gòkè, nítorí wípé àǹfààní ń bẹ fún wa nínú ìran Yorùbá tí èmi àti ẹ gbàgbọ́, torí pé tá a bá kọ̀ tá a gbàgbọ́ wípé lóòótọ́ ìran Yorùbá ni èmi àti ẹ, tá a gbàgbọ́ wípé bá a ṣe jẹ́ ìran Yorùbá yìí àǹfààní kan ṣoṣo tí èmi àti ẹ ní òun náà ni kí a ṣera wa ní òṣùṣù ọwọ̀, tá a gbàgbọ́ wípé ọ̀nà kan ṣoṣo tí èmi àti ẹ lè gbà láti ṣe àṣeyè tálákànṣepo òun náà ni pé ká wo àwọn tó wà nílẹ̀ fún wa, ká wo àwọn ọ̀nà tó wà nílẹ̀ fún wa láti rí pé ìran Yorùbá ó dá dúró. Má rọ̀ wá pé ẹ bá wa share program yìí bí a ṣe ń ṣe yìí. For those who are willing to listen to us today, please kindly share this program to your friends and loved ones so they too can be able to enjoy today's broadcasting. Now, a lọ pẹ̀lú ìwé bàbá eléyìí tí a máa lọ sọ́ndà chapter 5 lónìí, eléyìí tó sọ wípé our youth development program will be transform our nation. Our youth development program will be transform our nation. Báwo ni àwọn iṣẹ́ tí a ó máa ṣe, àwọn ètò tí a ó máa ṣe fún àwọn ọ̀dọ́, àwọn ètò tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa la ó máa ṣe fún, ni wọ́n á ṣe mú ìgbé ayé, báwo ni wọ́n á ṣe transform orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa tí yóò fi lójútùú, tó orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa gan fúnra wa gan tá a fi rí orílẹ̀-èdè tí ó wúlò lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀. Òun náà ni àwọn nǹkan tí èmi àti yín tí a ó jọ máa gbé yẹ̀wò lónìí. Then Baba said, and I quote, he said, in opinion of most people, in opinion of most Yoruba people, the most damaging impact of Nigerian on our Yoruba nation is Nigerians' impact on Yoruba children and youth. In Yoruba culture, children and youth are highly valued as the most important asset of every family and society, and as the pillar of future strength, the prosperity Consequently, Yoruba people devote more attention and resources to proper development of the child than most other peoples do. In modern times, when Western education has become the surest means of the rising in society, Yoruba parents have commonly put numerous resources on education for their children, often selling home and other valuable assets for school fees and college fees. Even the most totally illiterate Yoruba parent helping the child through school in the most important life pursuit in our times. Nigerians are seriously hurt these high-charioted people damage of child and youth development in two painful ways. First, under the leadership of the people, the Fulani who decide and fear Western education and the equality of the education has been made to fall steadily at the all level in all parts of Nigeria, including Yoruba land. To the great sadness of the Yoruba people, increasing numbers of Yoruba families are responding by avoiding the public school where education has been seriously deteriorated and finding the money of the send their children to private school which are unusually more expensive but where education is better. Now ibi tó ti better nìyẹn olórí burúkú làwọn government wa yìí. Secondly, because of the federal government destruction of the development energy and the momentum of the Yoruba Western region in 1962 to 1965, and because of the resilience of decline of the whole Nigerian economic since then, unemployment has become a major character of the Nigerian societies. Nigerians' unemployment rate in one of the highest in the whole world today, and the Yoruba society is terribly devastated by the massive unemployment. In the far north of Nigeria, where there is almost no attention to education, Nigerians' anti-educational posture has created an enormous class of poor youth consisting of millions of youth who had acquired no schooling and no skill. The classes known as the Alimanjiri, who are the poorest group of the people in the world and who spend their whole life as beggar in the street in the Yoruba southwest of Nigeria, where all children go to school. The highest rate of employment has been hit the masses of the education Yoruba youth abominably. Hundreds of the thousands of education youth, many of them were different level of university degree, have or decade been miling around the Yoruba towns in and the city. Their number increasing year by year. Annual huge number of those educated youth find ways to obtain visas to fly to the other countries. Many find ways to fly abroad as illegal migrants. Oh my shame. Many even try to reach Europe, far the Sahara Desert and other the Mediterranean Sea. There are constant reports that many of these are dying in the desert and perishing in the Mediterranean Sea, or that some being the enslaved in the country of North Africa. In despite of such report, more and more Yoruba youth are still regularly heading to the desert and the Mediterranean. Consequently, Yoruba migrants are found today in the probably all countries of the world. For the very many ones who so however cannot fly abroad, their lot at home is serious poverty and preservation, frequently economic, depending on the poor parent, occasionally begging, occasional life as poorly guided attendant of politician, inability to marry and start raising families of their own, membership of criminal court or internet criminal gang, hopeless and shame. In this many way, this youth of the Yoruba nation are being robbed of personal dignity and the national moral orientation. The Yoruba nation is being dangerously bleed and dead and dragged, and the future of the Yoruba nation is being very seriously implied. In our new country, bàbá wa ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé nígbà tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ tán orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa tuntun tá a sọ pé a fẹ́ gbà yìí o, in our new country, as we start a serious improve our educational system, we shall embark also every seriously on establishing a national youth program for the development and elevation of the youth. We shall learn from the example of the country of Singapore in Southern Asia. Up to 1965, Singaporeans were one of the member states of the Federal of the Malaysia. Singapore was a terribly poor island. It had no resources, no land for agriculture, no forest resources, no minerals resources, and it even had to pipe its domestic water supply from the other province in the mainland. In addition, Singapore youth, most of them little educated, were a serious problem because they were unemployed. Many of them were involved in crime, and a large crowd of them were frequently routine in the street. Finally, in the 1965, the government of the Federation of Malaysia decided that the federation could not continue to face the problem of Singapore, and therefore granted Singapore the freedom to separate from the federation and become a sovereign country. In short, Singapore was expelled from the federation so suddenly, without any preparation, without any resources, and with their youth rooting in the street. Singapore became an independent country in their world. Singapore's situation was so terrible that the Singaporean leaders who had to announce this sudden change to the people by radio was heard sobbing as he made the announcement. At one point in the announcement, he said, "Sobbing, this is the day of August from the Singapore, and for me, fortunately for Singapore, Singaporean leader decided that the only available path forward for their country was to seriously develop their youth. Therefore, the Singapore decided to invest all energy on a great youth development program, which, number one, provided skill training for all youth in all occupation, from simple occupation like hairdressing, nursing, cooking, restaurant service, etc., to higher occupation like marshals. Ṣé iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣe, wọ́n gbìyànjú carpentry, roofing, plumbing, entertainment, etc., to still higher technological occupation skill like motor vehicle repair, electrical installation, plumbing, metal fabrication, etc., to still higher occupation like import and export management, building construction management, business promotion, etc., to the highest technological occupational like computer assembly and repair, printing, publishing, product design, manufacturing, and accounting, etc. Number two, devoted serious emphasis on training all youth to be responsible and a proud employee in whatever job they were employed in. Number three, providing entrepreneurial education and training for youth who, after acquire skill, desire to start and manage business of their own. Number 4, create a well management package of financial assistance, small business loan, business counseling, assisting, and other kind of assistance to new small business. Singapore then offer attractive intensive to foreign investors in order to attract them to come to invest capital and establish business in Singapore, and those boost employment opportunity for Singapore's youths. It's all work wonderfully. Singapore youth acquire skill in countless occupations. We are trained to be competent and a loyal employee, and they become high desire employee. These developed among Singaporean youth a culture of excellence at work, a culture of strong loyalty to employer, and a culture of higher skin in order to get promotion at work. Many of them who acquire skills started small business of their own. The National Small Business Loan plus the business counseling assistance to the new small business help most of the business to succeed. Major foreign investors learn of Singapore insensitive to investment, and for the Singaporean skill and competent employee brought their investment of business in Singapore, and employment opportunities showed. Singapore developed a program of ensuring that Singapore export products will be the higher quality, and that made Singapore product high acceptable in the world market. Singapore became a major exporter of various products as its economy growing rapidly. Singapore was able to develop resources on infrastructural and allied development, road, port, airport, airline, ship buildings, shipping business, electrical installation, water supplier installation, and mission housing estate. By 1975, Singaporean economy was rated as one of the most successful economies in the world. Singapore became the known worldwide as the Asian successfully made. In 1976, our father, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, sent one of his young Yoruba intellectuals to go and see the miracle that was happening in Singapore and to write a report on it. Papa then had the Singaporean development model incorporated into his party grand plan for the development of Nigeria. But as we would remember, in 1979, our father's bid for the change to develop Nigeria was fraudulently rejected through the rigging of the 1979 presidential election. And now we know better. Now we know better. Now, for the youth of Yoruba nation, now we know better. Now we know better. I'm reading from the good news, the part of the prosperity to Orile-Ede Yoruba, written by Professor Banji Akintoye. They said, now we know better. We knew that Nigerian impossible to develop. I already said it. We know that Nigerian impossible to develop for those who are still believing in one Nigeria. You have just made a mistake. Everybody know that Nigerian is impossible to develop. Whether you like it or not, we need to agree that Nigerian is what is impossible to develop. That is why things are falling apart in Nigeria today, because no one is ready to develop Nigeria. Even though you have ambition to develop Nigeria, those who are benefited from the corruption, those who are benefited from destroying Nigeria will never allow you. Then we call them Kaba. Now, the Baba said, Now, we know better. Then we know that Nigerian is impossible to develop and nobody can develop Nigerian. Look at that statement. That statement enough show you that we don't need to waste your energy and resources on develop Nigeria. We don't need to waste your property and resources to develop Nigeria. It is clearly that every one of us must understand that Nigerian is an impossible to develop, and then nobody, I repeat it, nobody can develop Nigeria. Nobody in the whole world can develop Nigeria unless we are separate, unless everybody is going on his own. That nobody can develop Nigeria. Happily, we have decided to separate our Yoruba nation from Nigeria. So in our new country, our Orile-Ede Yoruba, we shall benefit from the Singapore's youth development, modern and Singaporean other development program. And also, ó yẹ kí èmi àti ó mọ̀ wípé unless tí a bá ń tanra wa lókù, unless tí a bá ń dìf tí a bá mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ tí a ń parọ́ fúnra wa lókù wípé kò sí ẹnikẹ́ni tó lè ṣe Nàìjíríà. We all say this, and àwọn kan gbà wípé lóòtítọ́ àti lòdò ṣé Nàìjíríà lóòótọ́ ṣó lè gòkè àgbà. Tí a bá wá ń tanra wa pé Nàìjíríà lè gòkè àgbà, yóò mọ jẹ́ kàyéfì fún èmi àti ẹ wípé ṣé lóòótọ́ Nàìjíríà lè gòkè. Now look at it, said, and we know better. We know that Nigeria is impossible to develop, and nobody can develop Nigerian. Happily, we have decided to separate our Yoruba nation from Nigeria. So, in our new country, our Orile-Ede Yoruba, we shall benefit from the Singapore Youth Development Model and Singapore's other development programs, and also go into many other development programs that we have the resources of and Singapore did not and does not have the resources for. We shall go into modern agriculture, including specialized organic and import farming. We shall borrow agriculture method from the Israel kibbutz system and create youth farm community, which we shall call Ileto, which we shall call Ileto, which we shall call Ileto. Each of these will be able each of us will be able protect and defend itself competently. We shall go seriously into agricultural product processing, marketing and import, into design and manufacture of agricultural tools and machinery, modern livestock raising and meat export, the daily farming and the daily product export, mining and minerals refining and product, wood product processing and export, various traditional, especially industrial, like ties and dye and other traditional fabric product, browsing, costing, various wood and ratting product, etc. for exporting. We shall offer attractive to the factors and the business in order to encourage investment and business venture by our own people, and to attract investment and business from the outside world. We shall offer attractive, intensive to our youth in the diaspora, including particular those who have resided abroad in tech job or tech experience or connection. They return home and they use their knowledge, job experts and other connection. They create of our country a strong share in the world tech industry and tech supply chain, including but not limited to semiconductor, electrical vehicle, solar energy technology, drone technology, etc. These are fields in which our country can equally catch up with the world's leaders. Field that will help our country to grow rapidly, to avoid the middle income trap, and to quickly transform into the high income economy. Togetherly, we can have togetherly we can and we shall develop our country much faster than the people of the people of Singapore develop theirs, because our country is much larger in territory and population, and must more endure with varied nature resources and with the educated woman resources. What Singapore achieved in about 8 to 10 years, our Orile-Ede Yoruba can achieve in about 4 to 6 years. We shall quickly create a surging national economic that will attract Yoruba youth back home from all corners of the world to come and contribute to and share in the rapid growth, prosperity, and the greatness of our own country. Eléyìí òun náà ni tí ó jọ ran èmi àti ẹ lọ́wọ́ láti rí wípé orílẹ̀-èdè ilẹ̀ Yorùbá it grow rapidly, yóò sì jẹ́ ohun tí yóò jẹ́ ohun ìyàlẹ́nu tí ò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí lágbàáyé. Kódà àwọn Singapore gan níbi tí àwọn sọ wípé àwọn ṣe tiwọn dé, tiwa yóò tún bẹ́tà, yóò tún fẹ́ẹ́ dáa ju tiwọn lọ, torí pé àwa ní resources tá lè lò láti lè jẹ́ kí àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí kó tètè wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Tá a bá padà lọ wo ibi tí bàbá ti sọ̀rọ̀ wípé àwọn Singapore yìí wọn ò ní nǹkan kan nígbà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ níbi pé àwọn tí wọ́n ṣùgbọ́n àwọn gan sọ pé kí ni o, ẹ bọ́ta ẹ máa lọ, ẹ ṣe kí ni o, ẹ bọ́ta ẹ yapa kúrò, torí pé wọn ò ní nǹkan kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ offer. Wọ́n ní kí wọ́n ṣe kí ni, wọ́n ní kí wọ́n bọ́ta kí wọ́n máa lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí wọ́n bọ́ta torí pé wọ́n ní wọ́n lára, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lára ó ṣe ní orílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n yóò fi yọ̀ǹda lẹ̀ Yorùbá wípé káwa náà ká bọ́ta pé ká máa lọ, torí pé ó tó gẹ́ ilé ti yá alùbàtà òkè dárin. Àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ni àwọn nǹkan tí bàbá ti pè sílẹ̀ fún wa fún ìran Yorùbá láti dá dúró, torí pé tá a bá dá dúró nìkan ni ọ̀nà òtítọ́ àti ọ̀nà àbáyọ fún ìran Yorùbá láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ oko ẹrú. Tí a bá kọ̀ tá a dá dúró, tá a ń dúró de pé kí ìjọba kan wá ràn wá lọ́wọ́, tá a sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa da, tá a bá wò ó, bàbá sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan bíi wípé nígbà ayé Awólọ́wọ̀ ẹ rí wọ́n sọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ tún bẹ̀ yẹn kà, wọ́n sọ wípé Awólọ́wọ̀ you can see it, wọ́n ní in 19 àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ni wọ́n ti gbìyànjú, táwólọ́wọ̀ gan gbìyànjú pé ṣé táwọn bá ṣe fún ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà nígbà yẹn ṣó máa lè dá dúró. Ẹ wá gbọ́n tí bàbá sọ mẹ́ pé in 1976 our father Chief Obafemi Awolowo sent one of his young Yoruba intellectual to go and see the miracle that was happen in Singapore. Miracle tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Singapore yìí, bí wọ́n ṣe transform àwọn youth wọn into a skilled product, bí wọ́n ṣe jẹ́ kí àwọn youth wọn kí wọ́n wà develop, wọ́n fún wọn ní youth develop program tó jẹ́ kí àwọn youth Singapore kan wà useful. Àwọn tí wọ́n ń roaming about on the street, àwọn tí wọ́n rìn káàkiri tí wọn ò níran tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, government wọn ṣe kí ni o bring life back to them. They said Baba Awolowo sent one of his intellectuals to go and see the miracle that is happening in Singapore and to write a report on it. Papa then had the Singapore development model incorporated into his party grand plan for the development of Nigeria. But Nigeria she only bought, as we would remember, in 1979, our father's bid for the change to develop Nigeria was frustrated, rejected through the rigging of the 1979 presidential election. Wọ́n dá ètò irú látara pé níṣe ni wọ́n yí ìbò bàbá padà ní 1979 tí wọn ò jẹ́ kí Awólọ́wọ̀ kó padà wá jẹ ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè. Bọ̀ kí wá ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn, wọ́n padà ṣe kí ni o, wọ́n padà yí ìbò náà padà tí wọn ò jẹ́ kí Awólọ́wọ̀ kó padà débẹ̀ o. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kankan náà tún wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ilé tó yẹ kí èmi àti ẹ ká kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ níbẹ̀ náà, pé bàbá wa sọ wípé now we know better. Kí ni tí èmi àti wọn tá a mọ̀ better? Kí ni tí wọ́n better ni pé we know that Nigerian is impossible to develop. Look at that. We know that Nigerian is impossible to develop, and nobody can develop Nigerian. That statement, we all know that Nigerian is impossible to develop, and nobody can develop Nigerian. We have decided to separate our nation, which is Yoruba nation, from Nigeria. So, in our new country, the Orile-Ede Yoruba, we shall benefit from the Singapore Youth Development Model and the Singapore Other Development Program, and also go into many other development programs that we have the resources for. That's why we have the resources for, and that Singapore did not and does not have the resources for. We shall go into modern agriculture, including specializing organic and import farming. We shall borrow agriculture method from the Israel tí wọ́n ń pè ní Kutunt system, and create youth farm community which we shall call Ileto, each of which will be able to protect and defend itself competently. We shall go seriously into agricultural product processing, marketing, and import, into design and manufacture of agricultural tools and machinery, modern livestock raising and meat export, daily and farming and daily product export, mining and minerals refine and export, wood product processing and export, various traditional specialist industries like ties and dye and other traditional fabric products, browsing, costing, various wood and riding products, etc. for exporting. We shall offer attractive, intensive of investor and business in order to encourage investment business virtues by the own our people, and to attract investment and business from outside world. We shall offer attractive intensive to our youth in the diaspora, including in particular those who have residing in abroad in e-tech, or e-tech experience or connection, to return home and use their knowledge, job expert, and other connection to create for our country a strong share in the world e-tech industry and e-tech supplier chain, including but not limited to semiconductor, electrical vehicles, solar energy technology, drone technology, etc. These are fields of which our country can quickly catch up with the world leader, field that will help our country to grow rapidly, to avoid the middle income trap, and to quickly transform into a high income economy. Together we can and we shall develop our country much faster than the people of Singapore developed theirs, because our country is more larger in territory and population, and much more endure with various natural resources and with educated human resources. What Singapore achieved in about 8 to 10 years, our Orile-Ede Yoruba can achieve in about 4 to 6 years. We shall quickly create a surging national economic that will attract Yoruba youth back home from all corners of the world to come and contribute to and share in the rapid growth, prosperity, and greatness of their own country. This is good news, the part of the prosperity to our Orile-Ede Yoruba, written by Professor Banji Akintoye. Eléyìí nìkan ni ọ̀nà àbáyọ fún ìran Yorùbá. Ó nìkan sì ni ọ̀nà tó lè ṣe wá láǹfààní tí Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ nígbàgbọ́ nínú ẹ̀. Eléyìí yóò ràn wá lọ́wọ́ láti pé kórìíde wa kó lè dá, kó ìgbà kó lè tẹ̀síwájú. Níbí yìí, ó náà ni èmi ò ti dá dúró lórí the goodwill to our Orile-Ede Yorùbá lónìí, eléyìí tí Professor Banji Akintoye tí wọ́n kọ fún gbogbo ìran Yorùbá láti pé kájọ nígbàgbọ́ nínú ẹ̀, kó sì jẹ́ ohun tí a máa lò gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìwé eléyìí tí yóò máa ṣe wá ní àǹfààní títí di ìgbà míì tá a tún máa pàdé lórí ìwé yìí lórí ètò yìí orúkọ tí mo padà Omoboriowo ẹ̀yìn kò tọ̀nà ẹ̀mí jẹ́ títí ìgbà míì tá a máa pàdé eré èmi àti yín kájọ fi ayọ̀ àti ìdùnnú kájọ fi pàdé ó dàbọ̀.
New to this channel, consider subscribe in your latest video.